We are bringing in our superstars tonight. We're going to bring in Darryn and Ayisha, and they just closed on this property in Providence, Rhode Island. Here, you gave them all kinds of love in the Facebook group. This is 82 comments, giving them a shout out. They closed on a beautiful home, a triplex with three. A triplex. Actually, it was listed as a duplex. So we talk about hidden value in the program all the time. They saw opportunity for it to be a triplex. Initial price was $395, $5K in closing, wrapped into that price. Seller credit from the inspection of $12K. So the net price was $378. The appraisal value is $400,000. So they're literally walking into $22,000 in equity right out the gates. This is what we mean when I say buy right. Cash on cash return is 15%, 15.01. Let's just be very specific because they made it right above that 15. Mortgage interest rate is 2.75. Money has never been cheaper, y'all. And they have achieved mortgage freedom with their first purchase. And what I'm really excited about is that they did it in the Northeast. So let me bring them on right now. There we go. What's going on, y'all?
Hey.
Hi.
How y'all doing? Y'all did it. Y'all made it to the finish line.
Man.
Yeah. It was a journey.
He's water. The journey. He dehydrated from the journey, huh?
Man, I feel like
talk to us. I'll tell you. Oh wait, y'all are in the house right now?
We're in the house.
Right?
This is the office.
Okay.
Attic that we're in. And then the bedroom's next door. But yeah, it's a 2-bed, 1-bath attic.
Okay.
But yeah, the journey was crazy. So if I start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, I was living in Mexico because I was working down there.
Okay.
And then Corona hit, came back to the States, and Ayisha's pops, he owns a couple properties, and he owns specifically here in Providence. And he was like, man, you guys really need to check out Providence. Like, it's more affordable than New York because that's where we were living for a long time, etc. So we were like, okay, let's go check this out. We come here, little do we know, everybody else had the same idea, and it quickly became a seller's market.
Right.
And so there was a CNBC article that came out a few months ago that actually showed the top 5 most competitive cities from a housing standpoint in the country, and Providence was number 4. Right. So it's because it's like ideally located. It's off the I-95. It's near Boston. Brown University's here. It's near New York. Whole lot of good stuff happening here. And so with that, we were just like, okay, this is going to be in for a bumpy ride. And we struggled a lot with finding reliable contractors, right, up here. Struggled a lot with that. We struggled a lot with just getting an offer accepted. Yeah. I mean, this house was like our 5th offer and first one that we had accepted because everybody up here is either putting up straight cash or they going conventional with 15-20% down.
Yeah.
Ugly ducklings.
Yeah.
It's like ugly ducklings. Yep.
Right. It was a shot to the ego, I will say. Like for me personally, I was like, cause we've like made sacrifices in our life, living in lower income communities just so we can save our money and get to this point. We've been doing that for a few years. But then when you come up here, it was just like, oh yeah, but you ain't got enough. And so that kind of beat us down. And but we developed a relationship with one of our agents, with our main agent actually. And she was like,
we went through like 5 agents.
5 agents. Wow.
So many trash agents. We finally found a good, aggressive one that like was really on our side and knew exactly what our vision was and like really good.
And she brought the deal to you, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she did. And so the way we found her is that one thing that we did was, as we were struggling earlier on, we're like, okay, how can we get better access to contractors, agents, etc. And then I forgot we called an inspector when we were doing the interviews. And the inspector was like, oh, you should join a Rhode Island real estate group. And I'm like, real estate? I'm like, okay, cool. So we joined the Facebook group and everything. And man, contractors started flowing in, agents started flowing in, started getting connected with folks. And in fact, I was going to go with one agent, but one guy DM'd me and was like, hey, I'm an investor too. I see you going with this guy, Mark Santos over here. Let me let you know that don't trust him. because he tried to sell me a house. He was like, he tried to sell me a house and had $100,000 of repairs, and he ain't say nothing. He knew about it. So what you should do is probably go to my homebro over here, who actually ended up being our agent that helped us do this. And it was like, man, he didn't have to tell us all that, right? He didn't have to look out for us like that,
right?
Know us, but that was extremely helpful.
That's beautiful. So this is a relationship game. So this property never hit MLS, correct?
No.
Off-market deal.
Yes. So it was off market, and so our agent was also the seller's agent, right? And so we talked about how that can be a tricky situation sometimes, and we wouldn't have had as much faith if we didn't have as good of a relationship with her directly before she did this.
Understood.
Like the chemistry between the three of us was just like really good. And so she was just like, I got something. She said, I'm gonna let you know that I haven't seen it in a while. I'm supposed to be putting it up on the market a little bit, blah, blah, blah. I got a photographer going over there. Y'all can look at it and y'all tell me what y'all think.
Boom.
And so, right, exactly. She wasn't like, oh, you need to do this. She said, look, I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know what it looked like. Y'all do it. Y'all let me know what y'all want to do.
Got you. So she sold it to this seller years ago, and now this seller was coming up off of it.
Yes.
And so she had a relationship with the seller.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so that's how we were able to get in. We saw it, and we were just like, okay, this house is great, good interior. On the outside needs work, but and this was helpful too in having Ayisha's dad with us, because Ayisha's dad was very much like changing, like between Ayisha's dad and your modules, it was just like, okay, really focus on what's like cosmetic and what's just like a bigger job to change.
Yes.
What we realized was like, okay, a lot of this stuff was cosmetic. It's not like where we want it now, but it's very cosmetic. And it's in the neighborhood we want.
It was everything on your list, Julian, as far as what you said to look for in a gentrified neighborhood. We have a bike shop right around the corner.
We got
33 times of gentrification.
Coffee shop, graffiti turning into art. People walking their dogs out here, man, watering their plants.
On the list.
Man.
So Ayisha, tell me about the faith. How'd y'all keep the faith? Y'all been through 5 agents. You looked at how many properties. How did y'all keep the faith, and how did you support each other during this process?
It was like, I don't even know. we kept logging in.
Right?
Exactly. We kept joining in on the Sunday calls, of course.
Yeah.
And even those were kind of hard sometimes, because we were like, man, we're hearing about all these successes. Why is it so? Why aren't we getting the success yet?
Right. We should we should have went to the South. We started saying that or something like that. Started second guessing.
Come on down.
We like I said, it was a shot to the ego. Because Ayisha and I are both people who have tried to live a certain way, to build a certain profile.
Yep.
But when you up here, it's like, nah, you ain't good enough.
Gotcha.
It was just like especially, I remember after one time I really felt like I wasn't worth anything, when like there was this house for like $650. So we were gonna put the offer in $650. It's near Brown University. Before we put the offer in, literally the agent was like, oh nope, it's already off the market. What are you talking about? Somebody came in $700 cash and waived inspection. Wow. And we were just like, what is going on? I was like, yo, it's over, y'all. Like, it's a wrap. Like, it's like we ain't competing with that, man. Go on.
Yeah. $700 cash, no inspection. They
right. Wow. I think our agent really helped us to keep we were really revived by having such a great agent during the tail end of the process. So she revived us a bit, gave us a little more like, okay, it's gonna happen. And then plus, we're just not quitters by nature. So we were just like, we're depressed, but we just gonna hold on. Maybe one day.
So how many deals? Because I know I had to extend your limit on the number of deals y'all did in the purchase. I had to boost y'all up because y'all hit the max. And then how many properties did you see? How many deals do you think you analyzed, and how many properties?
And we analyzed a lot.
I had to be at least 100.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning we were like, at least doing like, did it pass the 1% or what?
The 1% rule. We
were looking at like, as soon as a slew of properties came out, at every minute, every few hours when a new slew of properties came out, we were like looking at them.
Yeah.
As far as which ones made it to the purchase or pass, I actually don't even remember.
How many did you end up going to see? How many addresses did you go to?
Oh man, like probably less than 10.
Yeah.
Not about 10, like less than 10, I would say. Yeah.
10. So that's the purpose of being able to evaluate deals quickly. And then you put offers on how many?
This was like 5 altogether, and we got 1 accepted.
Good. So somebody asked in the chat, how long did it take? They joined July 28th, y'all. No,
Yeah.
they joined.
No. We joined like it was in May.
It was May 28th.
We moved out here in March though.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved out here in March.
From Mexico. From Mexico.
Yeah. I came back from Mexico, and then we moved Ayisha down from New York, and we were here in Providence in March.
Oh, actually, I have the date. It's April 28th. You will close in 3 months. In 3 months.
Yeah.
April 28th.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about when you walked in and you had the checklist and you saw a hidden value. What was the hidden value you saw on this property?
Man, so the hidden value was definitely the attic piece.
Mhm.
Definitely the attic piece. And like Aisha's dad kind of helped, because Ayisha and I were just like, well, man, we want something bigger. We want something nice or whatever, right? But then Aisha's dad was like, shoot, if I were you, that's how Aisha's dad is. He's like, see, if that was me, that'd be my little spot. That's how he talks, right? He's like, that'd be my little, that'd be to me. You know, and so we were like, okay, yeah, this is kind of true, right? Okay, you can actually do this. And we also started talking to our agent, and our agent was like, yo, I swear that used to be a big family at some point legally. Y'all need to like look into that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, there is a good amount of value here. That was the biggest piece too. The other piece too, for me, like I also noticed the parking situation. Like in this area, parking is very hard to come by. And so even though this house, I'm thinking about like our neighbor, the house is smaller than our neighbor's house, but we actually have a ton of parking. We have like 4 solid parking spots where you don't have to disrupt other people. Plus, we have a long driveway.
Yeah, that's a premium.
So, right, and so I was like, okay, there's some good amount of value there. What's some other things? Yeah,
The attic was the real
hidden value. Yeah.
Good. So you already talked to your tenants, and so one was vacant and one was rented, right?
Yeah, one was vacant, one was rented. Yeah.
Right, so tell us about the one that was rented. What's been that conversation?
So this woman, you know, she used to getting what she wants, right? Like, so she sold her single family home. Now she's looking to buy a multi. So she's like, okay, I need to kind of chill out in a rental for a bit. She came in like April and actually prepaid 6 months rent. So with the previous owner, because she prepaid, he gave her a discount. It's supposed to be $1,200 a month. It actually worked out to $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll say like market rates around here are definitely like 13, 14, because she got a 2-bedroom, 2 parking spots, like all this other stuff. And I'm like, and you know, I'm looking in the garage. I'm like, hold on, she got a Mercedes in the garage. I was like, oh no. I talked about Julie when Julie was like, yo, they got Jordans, they got this, they got that. I was like, look, she got a Mercedes. She can do a little bit more than that. Right? So we talked to her. We went in there. We kind of game played it out. Before we went in there, kind of wrote down, okay, here are like the 6 topics we want to talk about. Talked to her about the parking. There's an area where like she kind of left her stuff out there. Like she's neat, but like in a common area. Yeah. Like she had a few things out there. It was like, okay, we don't want to set a precedent when we start showing the plays.
Yeah, we used your script, like your guidance on like what to say, like starting off with saying, hey, we're going to make some updates to the plays. And are there any things that you feel like we need to fix, repair or anything like that?
Yeah, and she told us all those fixes, because what we then found out was like the previous owner, he's more of like a flipper. Right. Okay. So he kind of bought this, and he's like, his hands are in a lot of different things, and he hasn't lived here in 2 years. So he kind of like let things go from aesthetically. And so we went in and we're like, okay, cool. And then the last thing was the rent. Right. And so, hey, I said, Ayisha and I were not planning to live in this unit. What we're planning to do is actually, clean it up and rent it out at $13.50 per month. Yeah. Right? That's what we're going to put on the market at. I said, but, for you, right, we give it to you. I said, for you. Right. I said, for you, the rent would be $12.50. Yeah. And she was like, okay. And I was like, you don't have to decide now. We'll send you a lease and all that good jazz. And then you just let us know by the end of August or so. So we're gonna send that out to her like probably tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Pricing out to like probably tomorrow. And then she wanted like a month-to-month situation too, because she is looking for like a house and things like that. Okay. That's fine, because as you know, like the main rental market is moving period is like between June and September. Yeah. Our current lease ends in October, and I was like, okay, I don't want her to sign 12 months to another October. But we can try to kind of get her out by next summer, and which she'll most likely be out by then, because she's going to like buy a house and stuff like that. Yep. And we can kind of turn it over in a higher demand time. Good. So 15%, you hit 15.01% on that cash on cash return. You was like, we gonna get that 15. Man, right, exactly. So how are you looking for this new tenant? Is your current agent doing that? How are you going to find this? So we went ahead and we posted everything up on so remember that property management service I told you about, Hemlane? Yeah. It's online, it's a hybrid actually though, between actual software and then also human interaction. And a lot of people that actually work there from a human standpoint are like ex-property managers.
Okay, got you.
Right. So it's like that tech firm that's a hybrid of both trying to disrupt property management.
Understood.
What they do is they charge like a flat fee based off the number of units. So for us, if for 2 units down there, it's like $88 a month flat.
Okay.
And so in the first month it's free. So it's like, okay, let's check them out. If they don't work out, then we may go to traditional property management route or whatever. But we'll see. But let's try it out. And so what we did was we created the post, and then they took that post and they put it on 30 sites.
Boom.
They put it on 30 sites. And the first day, we already got 2 people that hit us up off Zillow specifically.
Good.
So yeah, we'll see. I think one thing we got to do is because for our target market, we're targeting like many young professionals, but also grad students too.
Yeah.
And so we got to go look on the grad school sites and see which sites they specifically use. And if that's not included in the 30, then we could probably do a post there so the students will see it.
Yeah, 100%. Just for fair housing, make sure you don't specify that in the language. You could do it kind of in where you decide to market, but don't specify it in the language, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you there, you ain't even been home for a week yet. You was already telling me you got plans for the next one. So what's the long-term strategy for this property, and what do you think about the next investment?
Yeah, I think for us, we're doing what we can to like make improvements to the house and things like that. Like I said, it's all cosmetic and aesthetic. I mean, we would like to force as much strategic appreciation as possible. So like a lot of your videos and points on that has definitely been helpful in terms of like, our agent was like, man, if you can get through that gauntlet of trying to get this to a 3 family, right? Yep. She was like, that's right there. You're forcing like $100,000 appreciation right there. Right. And then so we're like doing those things, clean up curb appeal, like all that, because we're like at an intersection, you know what I mean? So it's almost like a corner line. And it's just like, all those different things. So that's going to be the goal, I'll say, over the next year, because we would like to get a point between the money that we save and then maybe even do a cash out refi, depending on kind of where we are from the appreciation standpoint, to get another 3 family and a bigger one, because we want to start working. We're planning for kids, start working on kids in the spring and things like that.
Got you.
Yeah. So we don't want to be an addict with the kids.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, going up through stairs, no joke. So, did one of you apply for, or what's the mortgage?
Yeah. So here's how this is interesting, right? With the FHA piece. So, what we're both gonna do it at first, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is this. So, Ayisha and I got married last summer. The lender that we went with, they need 2 credit agencies to kind of like pull your profile. Mm-hmm. Because of Ayisha's name change, only 1 agency was able to pull it up. So they had to go with just me. So on an FHA mortgage, it's just me. Yeah. Ayisha's on a deed and all that stuff, but on the mortgage, it's just me. So I don't know if that means Ayisha can do FHA.
You should be good there. They're not going to be able to identify that she's on the deed. That's on a whole different recording system. So she'll be able to use FHA when you're ready to move into the next 3 family.
Nice. That's really good.
I told y'all not to get married.
Yo, that was another thing. When you were saying that, Ayisha was like, damn. I was just like, yeah, so we like, how can we get around this? You know what I mean? But then when this happened, Ayisha was like, yo, this may be kind of like the way Julian's talking about in terms of like getting around it.
The blessing in disguise.
Like yeah.
Blessing in disguise. Beautiful. Man, we are so happy for you. You did it. You since April 28th, y'all just been focused. I mean, you've been in the hot seat before. You were on the Sunday calls. You've just been making it happen, and you didn't give up. That's what's so inspiring about the story, and you did it together. Creating generational wealth for couples is so important, and the fact that you 2 are on one accord. It's the hardest thing in the world when one person is on this level and the other person is not, but we can see the union and the alignment between you 2, and we're just so happy for you, the expansion of your wealth, the expansion of your family, and we can't wait to see the next one unfold.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you very much for everybody in this group. Yeah. I mean, all the stories. I mean, like, it's just been super motivational. And you too, Julian, I think you've done a really good job in terms of really putting this together and just giving exposure to a lot of us. Because even when I talk to my friends today, when we say buy a home, use that quote, everybody's thinking single family, right? And they're like, man, I don't want the mortgage. I don't want this. I don't want that. And it's just like, there's so many different, we got to change that mindset of what buying a home means, right?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Well, boom. We'll keep us posted on those strategic renovations. Let's see if we can get the zoning changed and converted to triplex. And then, just keep us posted as you develop and make those updates. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. So happy for you. So, what you call it? See if you can make me make me host again. Click on
Let's
participants.
participants. Okay.
And
There we go.
then make me host.
Okay. It's not allowing it.
All right.
Oh yeah, let me stop recording. No. Oh, stop video. Sorry.
Don't stop recording.
No, I ain't gonna do that. My fault. Yeah.
Let me
Okay, I
see.
stop video.
Then click or scroll over my name. You should see more.
Yeah.
And then it should say make
Oh,
host.
make host. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go.
All right. Beautiful. Appreciate
Thank
y'all.
you. Appreciate you too, brother.
Peace. All right, y'all. All right. So that was one of our most recent successes, and it's just beautiful to see. Just congrats to them for making that happen and not giving up and keeping the faith, supporting one another, getting creative, and being seeing the hidden value. These are all the things that we teach: the seller credit, using the inspection response to get it down 12,000. They followed the program, the multifamily master plan, to a T. And this is what happens when you do so. Again, remember, they evaluated hundreds of deals. They saw 10 and made offers on 5, and they closed on 1. This is the funnel. This is the funnel. And so I just want you to have an accurate expectation of what is ahead. Do I wish you found your love at first sight on your first deal? That was it. I hope that for everybody. But what I know about this game and this process, and after closing on 10 properties myself, I know that it takes time. And so you have to be in there daily and weekly, analyzing deals, looking for opportunities, building your relationships. They found this as an off-market deal through relationships. This is the name of the game, y'all. And so we got to play the game. If we see it working for other people, then we need to model our success after them. All right.